When you've reviewed as many ukuleles as I have, you tend to get quite excited when you see another brand coming along that you like. This is one of those. Keep watching. Hello, welcome back. It's GotAUkulele review day. As ever, this is the summary video review to accompany the full written review that you will find linked below this video. And if you look down there, there's a bunch of other links, which is where you can do what these people have done, because I can't stress this enough. GotAUkulele is not a commercial website. These are not product placement adverts. They wouldn't be reliable as reviews if I did that. So the only reason I can keep going is people like this who've thrown me a beer or a tip or joined the Patreon. It is much appreciated. Thank you so much. And you can also do that. That's just the click of a button. Hit the bell symbol once you've subscribed, and you'll get notified of new stuff when I put it up. Right, okay, yeah, instruments that come my way along a lot. You get to find favourites that you like, and this is one of those, as I say. Let's just get straight into it. I call them a bit of a crazy brand. The brand is Bonanza ukuleles from Minnesota. Sorry about my light, very dim in here today. Bonanza ukuleles from Minnesota in the USA, which is the business of Pete and Shelley Mai. He's a cabinet maker, and he's been building instruments for years now. And the reason I call him crazy is because he sends over instruments with build styles and techniques that you do not see anywhere else in the ukulele world. You look at them and think, that's not going to work. And they do work brilliantly, because I don't think I've ever reviewed a Bonanza where I've not given it a good score. Remarkable things. Not so long ago, I looked at his 1000th instrument, the Millennium series, which I thought was wonderful, and I got a lot of backlash from people because people wrongly suggested that I was saying it was too expensive. I didn't once say it was too expensive. I simply pointed out, factually, that it was the most expensive Bonanza I'd looked at. I still said it was good value. I said I could see where the money had gone, and he'd employed a new technique, a through neck technique, and some jointing of pieces in the body that pushed the cost up. I didn't say it was too expensive, but it was, matter of fact, more expensive than others. Previously, I'd looked at an instrument called the Homestead, which was his value line, and it was considerably more than that. Now, Pete does listen. He always listens, and he's always constantly changing things up and trying to develop new things. So, this is brand new. The Bonanza Renegade. This is in the baritone scale. Now, if you're looking at it, you may say, that looks quite familiar, because I looked a few years ago at that Homestead instrument, and this is the same template as the Homestead. It's the same shape, it's the same pretty much everything, but with some pretty fundamental construction differences, which we will get into, particularly that through neck. Right, there we are, double bout shape with this very pleasing slope shoulder. This one is in mahogany, but he also does them in other woods as well, cedar, oak, walnut, things like that. And like a lot of other Bonanza instruments, it's a clamshell, so you've got two blocks of wood which are routed out on the inside to create an ashtray sort of shape with integral bracing in them. They're then glued together to create the sound box. Very, very shallow little sound box, and you can see the joint on the side there where the two sides are joined together. Where this differs from his others, other than that Millennium, is the through neck, because on his other instruments the necks are screwed on. This one, if you can see, that top section is integral to the neck. This is all one piece. The top half and the neck is all just one piece, and then onto the back is fitted another block that's been routed out to create the chamber. So this is separate, this lot is all one piece. So there's the through neck, like the Millennium. I really like the concept. It worked very well with the Millennium. You can see that this is actually two pieces. You can see some of the grain, which I wouldn't call it book matching, but you can see it is two pieces where they come together. And because that neck is part of the same piece, there's actually a joint right down the middle of the back of the neck as well, which is hard for me to show you, but that's very interesting. Going to be a long review, this one. That's as usual, Bonanza walnut bridge with a Corian saddle. Let me just take this light down a little bit. With a Corian straight topped saddle. It's a through bridge. You push the strings through, fish them out the hole, and then tie a knot in them and pull them back. This one finished in a hand-rubbed satin like most Bonanzas are, and it feels wonderful. I really liked the profile of the Homestead because it's so skinny, it's so smooth, everything is so soft and nice soft smooth edges. Really, really comfortable. Inside differs again from the Homestead. It's still got the integral bracing, but it's got this curved falcate bracing pattern etched into the wood. If you want to have a look at that, look at my review of the Millennium series, because there's a picture Pete sent me of that, and it worked very well on that instrument as well. Okay, so the neck sprouts out the top of this front half of the instrument all the way up. It means you get virtually no heel, which is great for comfort down here. There's nothing to get your hand in the way for the upper frets. Same sort of profile as all Bonanzas, fairly rounded I suppose, bit squashed, nice roomy 38mm nut, 30 from D2E. Topped with more walnut for the fingerboard, which is in great condition. And I think Pete has fitted the frets how he normally does on this one, which is to stop the slots don't quite reach the edges, so you don't see any side tangs and absolutely no sharpness whatsoever. 19 of those, 14 to the top of the body. Position dots, very simple because this is the value instrument, the entry level Bonanza. Just dots at 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 and white side dots. 2. The Corian nut that Pete normally uses up there, and that's a standard Bonanza headstock. There is a facing on there because there is a joint in the headstock. There's no need for a joint down here. This is all one solid piece, but there seems to be something clever's gone on here because you can see a jointing line here. I think it might be to do with the facing, which hides the split in the neck. Bonanza logo laser etched. These tuners, really nice to see that Pete's offering these now as an option. Sorry, my light has gone terrible. These are De Young planetary tuners. Planetary rear-facing tuners on a baritone. Yes, yes. These are as good quality as GotAUPTs. These are De Young, work exactly the same way. Little helical gears inside here that turn and create a geared mechanism, but the look of friction pegs. Absolutely love those. Couple of strap buttons, and he's fitted this with his normal fluorocarbon strings, but he's put an unwound low G on, low D, because this is baritone, an unwound one. I think I'd probably prefer the wound one, but I never mark instruments up or down on score based on strings because they're so easily changed. But I do find these a little bit low tension. I'd want a higher tension set on these, Pete, but that does not going to affect the score in any way. It's a low D. And as I say, value line. In this spec, because these tuners add a bit more, this is $449, which beats the Homestead now regardless. And if you take those tuners off and have regular sealed gears, you save even more. And as a sort of introductory promotion, Pete's knocking an enormous amount off, because you can actually get one of these from his website now in this spec for $349. Now that price is going to go back up to $449, and I don't know how long it's going to stay at $349, but it's $349 for the moment on the Renegade. Bit less again if you didn't have those tuners, but I'd have those tuners. It's not a lot of money at all. It's very, very good value for money for something that's made by a man rather than a robot in Minnesota, not in Shanghai or Taiwan or wherever. So it's very, very good value for money. I love this. I love the Homestead and gave the Homestead a great score because it was such good value for money and remarkably sounding. And this is kind of this, well, it's very much the same, except it's got the through neck, which helps get the cost down a little bit more, he tells me. The slightly different bracing. I love these tuners, but otherwise it's the same sort of thing. And like the Homestead, I love how light it is. Baritone this, remember. It is available in other scales. 685 grams, nothing at all. Balances really nicely. I love how thin it is front to back. I think you know where this is going. I love the Homestead so much. The only thing I'm going to complain about, Pete, is these strings, because I do think they're a bit not my kind of tension, particularly that low D. But it's got a thumping bass sound to it, hasn't it? Okay, so volume. I don't know where it's coming from. There's so little of this. It's got loads of it. And will be even more. See what I mean? Quite floppy, those strings. Sustain. It's great. I don't know where it's coming from. How does he do these things? So nice to play. With those strings, it's quite a soft tone, but there's a woody, rich warmth. You would get more zing if you put a wound string on, or possibly a thinner string set. It's a very laid back sound, really like it. Very much like the Homestead. That Homestead came with the wound string on it, so it did sound quite different. See, this is why I don't do strings. Oh, my fingering there. Lovely. I don't know how he does it. I keep saying this. How many more times do I need to say this about Bonanza? These just work. Look how skinny and wonderful that is. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work. I would change the strings on this, but I can't stress enough, I don't affect scores with strings. I love how laid back, easy to hold it is. Warm, great punch, great everything. Love these tuners. Pete was concerned about whether I would go with those. I use them on other instruments. I really, really like them. The brand new Bonanza Renegade Baritone, available in other scales as well, available in other woods. Always loads of choice with Pete Myers stuff. In this spec, $449. Intro price, $349. And you can get it a little bit cheaper still in the smaller scales, and also if you downgrade the tuners a bit. But why would you? I love it. I love it. Thank you, Pete, for sending this over. Always a joy to look at your stuff. One day you're going to get it wrong. One day you're going to get it wrong. I hate to say that. I don't mean that. You won't. You won't. Very, very, very good fun. Very, very, very nice instrument. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Right, that's it. I'm having a summer break. I'm not here now for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I don't think. I might make one on the 3rd week. But certainly for the next 2, I'm not here. I'm with my family. So I'm not here. I won't see you. I hope you have a great summer ahead. Look after yourselves. And go and have a look at the other reviews on the reviews page. There's loads more to look at if you're new to GotAUkulele. Have a wade through the back catalogue. Thanks very much for your ongoing support. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.